Hi, welcome back, Backstage Chatter fans. I'm your host, Jackie Hardy. And in this segment of Backstage Chatter, I get the pleasure of interviewing Asia Collins, Leiah Lewis, and Kynnedi Moryaé Porter. They are in the upcoming Tony Award-winning and Broadway Dallas production of Hairspray. These talented Broadway performers speak with Backstage Chatter about being a part of such a beloved and iconic musical, as well as they discuss the heart behind this production, where the setting takes place in the 60s during the Civil Rights Movement. This interview is both fun and insightful. So mark your calendars for Hairspray, as it will be in Dallas from June 18th through June 30th at Music Hall at Fair Park. Just head over to broadwaydallas.org for ticket information. Thanks again for watching. So welcome, Leiah, Asia, and Kynnedi. We are so excited to have y'all. Just to give you a little bit of introduction of who I am, I'm Jackie Hardy, and I work for, proudly, a minority-owned and operated media organization called North Dallas Gazette. And so we're interviewing you today for our Backstage Chatter segment. We have a digital platform. So thank y'all so much. I'm very honored to be able to interview y'all. And I have to say, it's the first time I've done 3 interviews in one.
Really?
So I hope I do it justice.
Wow.
Y'all bear with me. I also want to tell y'all I'm rocking my bun, paying homage
Come
to
on, bun.
Hairspray, right? The
Yay. Yes,
very
come on,
sadly,
bun.
it's a sadly rendition of a bouffant, but but I've been rocking this bun. I have to be honest with you, since I've been on vacation, and my daughter was like, "Are you ever gonna take this bun out, Mom?"
I like the bun. I like the
That's right. I'm
bun.
like, quit bun hating me, right? That's right. But before we kind of get into your roles, right, in this amazing musical Hairspray, can you guys, always like to do this for our viewers, can you kind of, each of you briefly kind of just give a little background of your kind of, bio, and also kind of what led you to this stage? I know that's always something of interest to our viewers, and you can kick it off, Leiah, if you want, and then go from there. Yeah.
Well, hi, my name is Leiah. I have I actually just started doing theater after high school. I didn't get involved in musical theater really until I was 18 or 19. And that's when I decided it was something that I really loved. Growing up, I did gymnastics and cheerleading um, and track, but I never did choir or anything like that. But those things did set me up to have a good foundation in my movement quality, as an ensemble member and a dancer.
Sure.
Yeah. And so after high school, I did a community theater production of Memphis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I loved it. And then
The bug.
then I just kept doing it. And really, I do take pride in the fact that I'm pretty self-made. I don't have a BFA in musical theater or anything like that. I just kept going where the wind took me. I kept believing in myself, and
That's
I
right.
had good support systems along the way. And honestly, things happened for me because I didn't put too much pressure on myself, I believe. And now I'm here.
I love that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think that's going to inspire and encourage, others that hear this, that are trying to maybe go down that route of performing arts, and not everybody's path is the same. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to start as a child.
That's great. I love that. Yeah. And so, Asia or Kynnedi, just a little bit about you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kynnedi Porter. I am from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide, just a small town girl. I started theater in around 2009. I was about 5th grade, I think.
Okay.
Don't ask me how I got there. I don't know. I just popped up and I was in a production of Annie. So I've been doing it throughout my community and a little bit professionally throughout my entire high school, middle school career. I went to the University of Alabama, where I did get my BA in musical theater. Also have a double major in criminal justice. So I'm always hopping back and forth between things.
Oh, right.
Yes. So yeah, so throughout high school, I was getting ready to pick colleges, and I was like, maybe I don't want to go to school for theater. And I was like, maybe I'll try some other avenues. And after just like, going through applications and looking, I'm like, you know what? There's nothing else I would rather do my whole life besides theater. And so I just, continued to pick my schools out, and I found the University of Alabama, which I loved my education process there. That got me very, very prepared for the outside world and ready for the jobs. I just started auditioning. I was doing summer stock. So every summer in between college semesters, just doing those summer stock is just a simple contract a few months at a time at different locations. Then I was in the process of moving to New York, and I booked this. So instead of having a lease for a year, I decided to tour for a year.
Right. You are unconventional. I love it.
Yes.
Awesome.
And that's about it.
This is your national tour debut. Yeah, right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
ma'am.
I love it.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And what a testament to going for what you're passionate about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Miss Asia. Yes. Last but certainly not least, Miss Asia.
Hello. Okay, so mine, I've always wanted to do musical theater from like the get-go, from the jump. So every chance I got, I was in a production. Went to college for it. That was great. It was fun. Graduated in 2020, which, things happened. But funny enough, I went to this Hairspray audition in 2020. I'll never forget how the line was wrapped around the building, how long it was. And so since, 2020 happened, nothing came of that. But years and years of like, because this is 2023 is this production, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2023, I signed up again saying, maybe, third chance, let's try this one more time. And, here we are. So it was a great experience. Great.
And I love that, with respect to persevering, not taking a no as a final, to say, hey, try it again. That's awesome. That is so awesome. And my next question is, and it's kind of an obvious answer, so forgive me, but what is it like for y'all performing in this beloved and iconic musical? Can anybody kind of want to touch on it?
I'll speak to it. Me personally, this is my third time doing Hairspray.
Wow.
Same exact role, same exact track, everything. Of course, different productions, but this is the most professional one I've done, I think. And I really do love doing Hairspray. It's something that's kind of timeless. There's a song in the show called Timeless. It's a really timeless piece, and I think it's really prevalent just any point in time in my life. So I really enjoy, I know you guys can speak to it as well, but I just enjoy telling the story over and over again because it ends happy. Who doesn't love a happy ending, So that's just my take on it. I don't know about you guys, but
I appreciate that.
It's pretty iconic. I think at the very end, when we're doing the bows and Tracy's like, everybody let's dance, just like hearing the roar of the crowd. And whenever we acknowledge whatever city we're in, and Tracy's like, come on, where are we now?
Nashville.
I know, exactly. You don't know where you wake up at, huh?
Come on, Nashville, let's dance. And just the roar of the crowd it's really rewarding. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, and it's multi-generational, right? In fact, my daughter, she's like, I want to watch this because she's a theater geek herself. And so it's a part of my childhood. So to be able to share that. So I'm sure you have some of that going on in the audience where moms are bringing their little ones to say, hey, this is, part of my childhood that I want to share with you and make a memory with. So that's pretty cool. And kind of getting into y'all's role. I know you all also are understudies, but you also are the Dynamites, right? And so, I know when you think about that group, it kind of puts you in the mindset of the beloved Supremes in a way, right? Especially too, this takes place during the 60s. And so how does it feel? Because y'all are young, but how does it feel kind of going back in that time, right? Because that's a cool time, I feel like, with respect to the music, our music, African American. Yeah. So
Well, during rehearsals, our choreographer Robbie, he very much was like, yes, you guys are very much like the Supremes, and we worked on like how the movement is so elegant and so cohesive, so that we work together. So it's a lot of just like bringing the beauty and the glamour of the 60s, which is what the Dynamites are, and it was very much compared to the Supremes the entire time. So we are very connected to that group of how we work and how the song goes. So yeah, that's what I would say with like the Supremes.
And I know for me, I'm an old soul.
come on.
If you look at my music selection, you're gonna be very confused. I like to say I am my mother's child, I am my grandmother's child, my grandfather's child. So all the music around the time is what I listen to anyway. I'm a Supremes baby. I'm a Gladys Knight, different like that genre. So it feels very good to me. It's in my body.
Yeah.
And so it was still hard to get that get that elegance and stuff like that, but it wasn't as hard because it's kind of already in me. Especially with our roots to music, I'm a music lover, so it was already in me. But I definitely looked up, like I even referenced the Dream Girls, like even in that type of time, like it's just we have so many groups like this to reference, and it's such amazing. It's amazing that we get to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And those trios were really significant back in the day. Yeah. I miss some of that, those groups, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But I love that your parents, they developed an ear for that kind of good music. Yeah, I heard that. No, that is great. And kind of speaking with respect to the period, it's in the 60s, part of I would say the sub context of this, this musical is about the civil rights movement to some degree, for sure. And so can you kind of, any one of y'all, discuss how the music is a little bit reflective of that? It kind of gives a perspective of what was going on during that time. I think of the song Run Tell That, for example. Yeah, can you kind of speak to that?
Well, I feel like in order to tell the story accurately, there had to be such a contrast between the Nicest Kid songs and the Motormouth Company songs. So you'll see that in the musical, the Nicest Kids are like up, even their movement quality is like up and like that, it's just like more like preppy and uppity. And then when you get to our scenes, we're lower and like we move lower and we sing more rich. And I think it's just very accurately the writers of the score and the show really put it together so that you could see that we're fighting for something. And then gradually the Nicest Kids and like the white ensemble sees that. And in the end, we combine both the Motormouth sound and the Nicest Kid sound at the end during beat, even the movement quality we combine together. And then it shows how we all come to one. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and intentional, it sounds like. Yeah, in telling the story. That's the backdrop, the music, sure. Yeah, anybody else have any thoughts on that? Yeah.
I mean, exactly what Leiah said from the get-go, like the choreography is very specific with each move, especially some of the moves that Tracy does from Seaweed. Like those moves are throughout the entire production, just to show like how much the Motormouth ensemble / the Black people have integrated into their moves, and they've kind of been like not necessarily I don't want to say stealing, but like borrowing or referencing. Yeah, they've been using like our things, but like we're the ones that have like started it. So it's just like for us to all come to one and be like, we've all done this together. Like it's very much like a good production of, and smart with how we use our moves for the choreography.
No, that's so great. Yeah, thank y'all for giving me that insight and our viewers on that. Yeah, because it lets you kind of see the behind the scenes of, what all goes into connecting the dots to tell the story. So I love that. And, do any of y'all have a favorite musical performance that sticks out in your mind? And if so, why in this musical? I'd love to hear that.
Like specific to Hairspray?
Yes, specific to Hairspray. Sorry. Yeah.
I think iconically it's gonna have to be I Know Where I've Been. It's the
Okay.
moment where I feel like we've seen a lot in this society in the last couple of years where tensions get so high behind fighting for rights and fighting for what's right, that you have no other choice but to stick together, get right, sing if you need to. You know, so I
That
really think
community. Yeah.
it really just focuses in on the heightened emotions and feelings around that time and trying to really go. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen Hairspray, but
Yeah,
we get into some predicaments for trying to fight, you know, for our rights, you know, and stuff like that. So I feel like that moment is literally what a lot of African Americans in our lifetime have struggled with, and get to a point where I'm so frustrated about, you know, not being able to circumstances and not being able to be treated equally, that it just makes us get stronger and make us more cohesive. So I definitely think I'm gonna say I Know I've Been. I feel like I speak for both, I mean all of us when that's our big number. So you know, Run and Tell that for sure. But this one is that changes minds, I feel like
very important.
Yeah, this is the one that changes.
And I'm sure you feel it.
You
feel it, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a result, so does the audience. Yeah, absolutely. And I love how art imitates life, you know, in a sense. Yeah. And how music kind of helps to capture what we're feeling and emote that, you know, in a way that maybe would be received to our counterparts versus talking about it. So I love that. Yeah, and you know, I would say that the Dynamites in many respects too capture the spirit, right, of the African American community with respect to our uniqueness. Because come on, fashion, listen, African Americans has had a huge influence even on mainstream fashion, whether we give credit or not, right? Definitely in the music and even in the strength, because you touched on that, Kynnedi, with respect to coming together. And so, yeah, how do y'all feel about that? How well they do that? They kind of, these women, the Dynamites capture the African American spirit, so to speak.
Well, when we were like talking about how we felt about the Dynamites and how that story goes with Welcome to the 60s, Edna, who is Tracy's mother, is just she struggles with like self-image and confidence. And when we come out in the number, we're very much saying, you're beautiful, you're stunning, welcome to the beautiful 60s, like welcome to the possibilities.
Come with us, believe us.
Like the possibilities of everything that can happen, that can be good for you. Like if you can just like trust in us and trust in yourself, you know, we are the ones that kind of break her out of her shell, basically. And we're just like, you're beautiful, you're stunning, just like us, just like everybody. We're all beautiful, gorgeous. Let us come together.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very much like, come with us, we'll show you the world, we'll show you the best of the 60s, which is, I think, one of the highlights of the number.
And what better way for the trailblazing African Americans to do it, you know? What better way?
I heard that. Yeah. And that we're allies in this fight, right? Yeah.
Right.
It may be a different fight, but we understand, you know, all that goes with that. Yeah. Yeah. Especially Tracy, because in some respects, she wanted to take a stand as well, right? Yeah. For her friends, friends. And you know, on that note, what message would you guys say? Because, you know, it's no mystery that in some respects, the needle hasn't moved too much. You know, it has moved, which is certainly not to undermine that. But, you know, we are in some respects in the most divisive culture, politically, racially, you know, in my lifetime for sure. And I know in yours, I'm sure as well. And so what would you say is the message? And I'd love for each of y'all to kind of speak to that was applicable then, that is still applicable today. Yeah, can you share a little bit of that?
For me, I think that the equal opportunities we still do struggle with. There's a moment in the show when little Inez runs out onto the stage and she's like, "Hello, ma'am, may I please audition?" And Velma laughs in her face and says, "Of course not." And unfortunately, specifically with not specifically with musical theater, but with jobs as well, if you walk into a room, sometimes you're like immediately judged, and they're like,
color.
because of the color of your skin. And if they don't, they might not laugh in your face nowadays, but you get the feeling, you get the vibe, like you're not really wanted here, sorry. And unfortunately, we do still struggle with that now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good. Yeah. Any other message that you think is applicable now. Yeah.
I think me personally, I keep hearing the line, "We have yet to win," and we sing that, and I know I've been, and the message is like the work is still like I'm so glad we are in a different space for the most part socially, and stuff when it comes to equality and stuff, and especially African Americans. But I keep hearing we have yet to win. I feel like my message is that though we're making these strides, it's still so many microaggressions and little other things that we deal with as African Americans that I want us to realize the work is not done. We still have work to do, and that we can still come together and make it happen. So even though we have yet to win still sounds kind of gloomy and melancholy, right. It's still a sort of a call to action to me. So it's like, get out there, do what you got to do, fight for your right, do what you need to do to be able to make sure we're heard and we're accepted. Of course, it's not all we accept ourselves, but we're trying to get, the rest of the world to get on the same bandwagon. But I keep hearing that we have yet to win, but that's okay, because as long as we work together and keep fighting and actually putting our good foot forward, we can win. We can win. I believe it. So
there's hope.
There's hope.
Yes.
Yeah, have hope.
Right. To add on to that, because Hairspray, the thing is, what I love about Hairspray is that it has multiple messages, which I very much like. It's about discrimination, about the Black people and the white people. It's discrimination. And then it's also about body positivity as well, because Tracy gets together with Seaweed and aligns more with the motor mouth crew because she's treated as different as well because she's plus size, right? So I feel like it's also about, it doesn't matter what you look like, Black, white, big, small, you can do anything you want to if you set your mind to it. So I think that's also a very important message for, everybody, especially in the musical theater industry, where being bigger doesn't necessarily mean you're, looked as the same. You walk into a room and you might be only seen for certain parts. So it's just, that's also a very important message as well. So that it's like, it has so many important things, like what you look like does not matter. As long as you are, you're good in your heart, then you should be able to do what you need to do. Right. So that's also important to me.
No, that's great. And that's so important too. You're right with respect to body image. Yeah, because oftentimes that is a discrimination, as well. And I love, the fact that there is a message of let's work together, and cohesively come together and make a change, make a difference. Yeah, for those social ills that we face. No, and this is y'all's last stop, right? Dallas? The big
Dallas, yes.
Dallas,
yeah,
yes.
The big D. I know. Yeah, when y'all come to Music at Fair Park. And so I believe that you guys are going to just put a beautiful period or exclamation point on the show. And we're excited to have y'all. And so I know audience goers are going to flock to come see all this amazing talent and skill. Just quickly, do y'all have any Dallas connection, any family that will be able to come? And
I have a few friends that have moved since school. A few of my sorority sisters up there as well. I'm trying to find the best burrito tacos I can. That is my favorite food, and I've been trying them in every city, and so far nothing has touched Alabama. But I have in Dallas.
Listen, you are in the capital of tacos. Let me just tell you. So you will be able to try many restaurants, because now it's more Southwest vibe to it. So
perfect.
Yeah, like we eat our mashed potatoes with our tacos,
Ooh, okay. I could be here for that.
Well, that's me. That's me.
Right. We're gonna try that.
That's right. But no, we're so happy to have y'all in our fair city. If you're not here yet, I wish you safe travels here.
Yes.
But thank y'all so much. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to interview you all three, and I wish you nothing but the best. I know your future is bright. So thank you all so much. Yes. And you guys be blessed.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So cool to speak with the Dynamites in the beloved Tony Award-winning Broadway Dallas production, Hairspray. You don't want to miss Asia Collins, Leah Lewis, and Kynnedi Moryaé Porter, as well as the entire brilliant cast of Hairspray. So you need to head over to BroadwayDallas.org to secure that ticket. Remember, you can see Hairspray from June 18th through June 30th at Music Hall at Fair Park. Get that ticket, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.